In the far reaches of the galaxy, there existed a strange, bustling space station named Zathran. Every week, a new class of alien students arrived at Zathran to learn about different worlds. This week, the students were especially excited. They were studying a planet called Earth, but they had heard it was known as a Deathworld. The class was made up of various alien species. There was Zara, a tall and green-skinned being from the planet Garath. Her species was known for their intelligence and strong curiosity. Next to her sat Lurt, a small, round creature with blue fur from the planet Nimble. Lurt was often seen as a jokester of the group. Then there was Felis, who had feline features and came from a planet called Catera. He was wise and had a calm demeanor, often serving as the voice of reason. Finally, there was Kale, a sleek and strong alien from Warex, a planet known for its warriors. Kale loved a good challenge and was fascinated by Earth's reputation. Their teacher, Professor Warren, a shimmering being with 1,000 shimmering colors, began the class with a question. "Why do you think Earth is called a death world?" she asked. "Maybe it's because of the dangerous animals?" Lurt suggested with a chuckle. "Or the terrible weather," Zara added, her eyes wide. "I've heard they have storms that can destroy cities." Kale frowned, looking thoughtful. "It's not just that. There's something deeper. Let's find out." Professor Warren smiled at their enthusiasm. "Good. We will discuss this today. Let's start by learning about the creatures that inhabit Earth." She projected images onto a holographic screen. The students were amazed to see animals like lions, sharks, and snakes. They looked fierce. But what surprised them more was how humans, the dominant species, lived among these dangerous creatures. "Humans are brave," Felis said. "They face danger every day. It's impressive, but that's not the only reason Earth is a death world," Professor Warren said, changing the images to display Earth's natural disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, and wildfires. "The planet is full of hazards." The class fell silent, absorbing the information. Zara nodded slowly. "But why do humans continue to live on such a dangerous planet?" "Survival," Kale answered. "They have learned to adapt. They build shelters, create tools, and develop technology to protect themselves." Professor Warren gestured for them to focus. "Let's look at their history. Humans have faced many calamities. They have fought wars, faced diseases, and overcome fears. Download their stories and you will see their struggle." "Curious," Lurt asked, "are there any stories of heroism?" Warren pointed at the screen again, and images filled the room. The students watched as humans save each other from disasters, worked together to overcome challenges, and found new ways to live. Some humans explored their own planet. Felis said, "They climbed mountains and crossed oceans. They wanted to learn." "Yes," Professor Warren exclaimed. "They are explorers. They send machines into space and discover new worlds, just like us." Lurt raised a hand. "But what about their emotions? That makes them even more interesting, right?" "Exactly," Warren replied, excitement in her voice. "Humans experience a full range of emotions: love, fear, joy, and sadness. These emotions drive them to accomplish great things. The more they face danger, the more they learn about themselves," Zara noted. Kale considered this. "Yet, they still fight each other. Why?" Warren moved to the next set of images, showing wars and conflicts. "It's true. They have histories filled with battles. But this is part of their journey. They learn from their mistakes, strive for peace, and create alliances with each other." Felis looked thoughtful. "So, their desire for connection is just as strong as their instinct for survival?" "Yes," Professor Warren affirmed. "This connection creates culture, art, music, and even science. Their complexity is what makes Earth a death world, but it is also what makes them unique." As the lesson went on, the students wrestled with conflicting thoughts. Afterward, they were tasked with a project to discuss what they had learned and create a presentation about Earth. "I feel inspired," Zara said as they met later. "Earth isn't just a dangerous place. It's full of life and learning." Lurt nodded, bouncing excitedly. "Let's create something amazing." Kale added, "I think we can draw on their stories. We should highlight their courage and their ability to change." In the following days, they worked hard. They gathered images of humans helping each other, working together to solve problems and celebrating life. They drew parallels to their own worlds and the strengths of their species. Finally, presentation day arrived. The class was nervous, but also excited. They displayed their project with bright visuals and clear voices. As they spoke, Professor Warren watched closely, noting their passion and understanding. When they finished, there was a moment of silence. Then, Professor Warren stood, her colors shifting in delight. "This is incredible. You've captured the essence of humanity. You've shown that Earth is not just a death world. It's a place of hope, resilience, and strength." The room erupted in applause from their classmates. The students beamed with pride, realizing they had fundamentally changed how others viewed Earth. After class, Lurt turned to Kale. "Do you think humans will be proud of us?" Kale smiled. "I believe they would be. They fight every day, and we celebrated their spirit. We've learned something valuable." Zara said, "Maybe we can learn more. Perhaps we can visit Earth someday." Phyllis nodded. "We might even help them face their challenges." The group's eyes sparkled with dreams of the future. They realized that while Earth was called a death world, it was also a place where life thrived, where hope lived on fiercely. They were excited they would tell the tale of Earth as an example to learn from, a testament to all the ways life can grow, even in the harshest conditions. As they left the classroom, the stars outside the station shimmered brightly, reminding them of the interconnectedness of all life in the universe. They were all part of this grand story, and it was only just beginning. Title: The Curious Case of Planet Earth. In the vast expanse of the cosmos, far beyond the familiar stars of Earth, floated the Xyler Academy, a prestigious institution dedicated to fostering intergalactic understanding. Here, beings from every corner of the known universe gathered, their minds eager to unravel the mysteries of existence. Among them was Zorp, a curious young Xylarian with skin like polished jade and eyes that shimmered with endless questions. He, along with his classmates from various planets, was enrolled in a course titled Planetary Studies, Hazard Assessment. Their professor, the wizened and respected Dr. Eris, a being from a race known for their analytical prowess, had assigned them a daunting task: to determine why Earth, a planet teeming with life, was classified as a death world. The term itself sent shivers down Zorp's spine. Death world implied a place of unimaginable danger, a place where survival was a constant struggle. Yet, Earth was also known for its vibrant ecosystems, its breathtaking landscapes, and the complex society of its inhabitants, humans. The contradiction was perplexing. One day, during a lecture, Zorp raised his hand, his voice a soft chime in the vast hall. "Dr. Eris," he began, "we've been studying Earth for weeks now, and while we understand the presence of natural disasters and apex predators, we don't fully grasp why it's considered a death world. Many planets have similar challenges. What makes Earth so different?" Dr. Eris adjusted his multi-lens spectacles, his gaze sweeping across the diverse faces in the classroom. "An excellent question, Zorp," he replied. "The answer, my students, lies not just in the planet's inherent dangers, but in the unique nature of its dominant species, humanity." A ripple of murmurs went through the class. Humans were known throughout the galaxy for their tenacity, their creativity, and their unpredictability. To understand Earth, Dr. Eris continued, you must understand the duality of humanity. They are capable of both extraordinary compassion and unspeakable cruelty, of breathtaking innovation and devastating destruction. Their history is a tapestry woven with threads of both triumph and tragedy. He then introduced a series of historical simulations, each designed to highlight a specific aspect of Earth's death world status. The first simulation showcased the planet's volatile geological activity. Students watched in awe and horror as earthquakes ripped apart cities, volcanoes spewed molten rock, and tsunamis swallowed coastlines. Earth's tectonic plates are in constant motion, Dr. Eris explained, leading to frequent and often catastrophic events. Next, they witnessed the ferocity of Earth's weather patterns. Hurricanes, tornadoes, and blizzards raged across the screen, demonstrating the planet's capacity for extreme and unpredictable climate shifts. These events are natural, Dr. Eris noted, but their impact on human civilization can be devastating. However, it was a third simulation that truly stunned the class. It depicted the history of human conflict, wars fought over land, resources, and ideologies. Students watched as armies clashed, cities burned, and entire populations were decimated. Humanity's capacity for violence is perhaps the most significant factor in Earth's classification as a death world, Dr. Ayres stated grimly. They have developed weapons capable of obliterating their entire species, and they have, on more than one occasion, come close to using them. A young Floran, whose species was known for their pacifistic nature, gasped in horror. "But why?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "Why would they do such things to themselves?" "That," Dr. Ayres replied, "is the question that has plagued philosophers and scholars for centuries. The answer, it seems, lies in the complex interplay of human psychology, sociology, and history." He then presented a series of case studies, each focusing on a different aspect of human behavior. They learned about the rise and fall of empires, the spread of ideologies, and the consequences of unchecked ambition. They saw examples of incredible altruism and horrifying depravity. As the simulations continued, Zorp and his classmates began to understand the true nature of Earth's death world status. It wasn't just the planet's physical dangers that made it so perilous, but the inherent contradictions within humanity itself. One evening, Zorp found himself in the Academy's library, surrounded by stacks of datapads filled with information about Earth. He was joined by his friend, a stoic and observant being from a race known for their strategic thinking. "I still don't understand," Zorp confessed, running a hand over his smooth forehead. "If humans are so destructive, how have they managed to survive for so long?" His friend pondered for a moment, his eyes fixed on the swirling nebula visible through the library's panoramic window. "Perhaps," he said slowly, "it is because they are also capable of great adaptation. They learn from their mistakes, they innovate, and they persevere in the face of adversity." Zorp considered this. It was true that humans had shown remarkable resilience throughout their history. They had overcome countless challenges, both natural and self-inflicted. As the course neared its end, Dr. Ayres assigned a final project: to propose a strategy for engaging with humanity in a way that would minimize the risks and maximize the potential benefits. Zorp, along with his classmates, spent weeks debating and brainstorming. They considered everything from establishing diplomatic relations to providing humanitarian aid. They analyzed the potential consequences of each approach, weighing the risks and rewards. In the end, they presented a comprehensive plan that emphasized the importance of understanding human culture, respecting their autonomy, and fostering mutual cooperation. They argued that by building bridges of trust and understanding, the galaxy could help humanity overcome its self-destructive tendencies and unlock its full potential. Dr. Ayres listened intently to their presentation, his expression unreadable. When they had finished, he stood and addressed the class. "You have all demonstrated a remarkable understanding of the complexities of Earth and its inhabitants," he said. "Your plan is well-researched, thoughtful, and pragmatic. However," he added, a twinkle in his eye, "the true test will come when you put your knowledge into practice." He then revealed that the Xyler Academy had been chosen to participate in a pilot program designed to establish contact with a newly discovered human colony on a distant planet. Zorp and his classmates would be part of the team sent to initiate first contact. The news was met with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. They were about to embark on a journey into the unknown, to confront the challenges and opportunities of interacting with a species known for its unpredictable nature. As Zorp prepared for his journey to the human colony, he couldn't help but feel a sense of hope. He knew that Earth was a death world, a planet of both immense beauty and profound danger. But he also believed that humanity had the potential to overcome its flaws and create a better future for itself and the galaxy. And he, along with his fellow students, was determined to do everything he could to help them achieve that goal. For in the end, the fate of Earth, and perhaps the galaxy, depended on it. In a far-off galaxy, on a planet called Drapus, there was a school for young aliens known as the Zarnoks. The Zarnoks were curious beings with bright blue skin and big, round eyes. They loved to learn about the universe and the creatures within it. One day, their teacher, a wise old Zarnok named Glimmer, announced strange news. "Today, we will learn about a planet called Earth," Glimmer said, his voice echoing in the classroom. Many say it is a death world. The young Zarnox gasped. They had heard stories about Earth, stories filled with danger and fear. The students looked at each other with wide eyes, wondering why anyone would live on such a planet. One bright student, a Zarnox named Tila, raised her hand eagerly. Why is Earth called a death world, Glimmer? Glimmer smiled knowingly. It has many dangerous creatures and harsh environments, but there is more to learn. Let us explore what makes Earth unique and why it holds such a title. Glimmer led the class to their holographic learning room. With a wave of his hand, the walls shimmered and transformed into a scene from Earth. They saw a dense jungle filled with towering trees, colorful birds, and animals prowling through the underbrush. As the students watched, Tila asked, "What are those creatures moving in the bushes?" "They are called predators," Glimmer explained. "They hunt for food to survive. This is one reason Earth is called a death world. Many creatures must fight to stay alive." Another student, Jeaner, with a stretchy neck and long arms, squeaked out, "But they look so beautiful. Why do they hurt each other?" Glimmer nodded. Beauty often hides danger. On Earth, creatures have to compete for survival. This world is filled with challenges, but humans, the dominant species, have learned to overcome many dangers. The Zarnox stared in awe as the scene shifted to a bustling city filled with human activity. Cars zoomed past, and people hurried along the sidewalks, all seemingly unaware of the lurking dangers in their environment. The hologram zoomed in on a group of humans, standing in front of a tall building. "Look at them," Glimmer said. "They seem unafraid. Why do you think that is?" Tila thought carefully. "Maybe they are strong?" "Partially," Glimmer replied. "But strength is not just about muscles. Humans use their minds to solve problems. They face dangers in their lives daily, yet continue to build societies and create art." Lurko, a shy Zarnox with small green spots, asked, "But aren't they afraid?" "They live in constant danger." Glimmer's eyes twinkled. Fear can act as a powerful motivator. Humans have learned to conquer their fears. They innovate and adapt, which has helped them survive. The hologram changed again, this time showing a group of humans collaborating on a project. They were creating tools and devices that made life easier, like machines and computers. The Zarnox were amazed. "See how they work together?" Glimmer pointed out. "They communicate, share ideas, and support each other to face challenges. This cooperation is how they've thrived despite the risks surrounding them." Jeaner chimed in. "So they become stronger together?" "Exactly." Glimmer cheered. "But there's more." Suddenly, the view shifted to a sweeping landscape of Earth's oceans, mountains, and deserts. The Zarnox marveled at the beauty, but were also struck by the storms and wildfires depicted in the scene. Earth has beautiful features, but also harsh conditions, Glimmer noted. Yet these challenges also lead to the Earth's evolution. Creatures adapt and change to survive. Those who can't perish. It's a cycle of life. Tila felt a knot form in her stomach. "That sounds so scary." "It is," Glimmer agreed, "but it's also incredibly remarkable. The resilience of life on Earth is unmatched. The survival stories of Earth's inhabitants are inspiring. The human spirit especially shines through." As the class continued, they watched scenes of humans rescuing one another during natural disasters. They saw firefighters battling flames, doctors helping the sick, and communities coming together in the face of tragedy. "Do you see?" Glimmer said passionately. "Even in danger, humans rise to the occasion. Their kindness and bravery help them survive." The students were quiet, contemplating the lessons they had just absorbed. They had come to understand that while Earth was a death world, it was also a testament to the strength of life. A thoughtful Jeaner asked, "If Earth is so dangerous, why do humans stay? Why not find a better place?" Glimmer smiled gently. "Home is where the heart is. Despite the dangers, Earth is filled with beauty, love, and connection. It's their home, and it's worth fighting for." Tila raised her hand again, more confidently this time. "So, being strong doesn't just mean fighting. It means caring and helping each other, too?" "Yes." Glimmer beamed. "Remember, every world has its struggles, but it is how we face them that defines us. The Zarnoks are a proud species because of our unity. Just like humans, we must care for one another to thrive. The bell rang, signaling the end of class. The Zarnoks left the learning room filled with questions and thoughts. They had learned that Earth was not just a dangerous place. It was a land of fighters, creators, and nurturers. As they walked out, Tila turned to her friends. I want to see Earth one day, to understand and experience what they go through. The others nodded in agreement, excitement washing over them. Let's promise to always help each other, no matter what challenges we face, Jeaner suggested. Deal! The others shouted in unison. With their hearts set on adventure and learning, the Zarnoks walked out into the bright Therapy sun, inspired by the bravery of Earth and the truth they had discovered. They understood now that even in the darkest places, light can shine brightly through cooperation and love. Once on a distant planet called Xanthier, a group of alien students gathered in their classroom. They were part of the highest school of learning in the galaxy, where young minds from different planets came together to study. Their teacher, Xyler, was an experienced alien, tall and covered with shimmering blue scales. He had taught many students about the universe and its wonders, but today was different. Today's lesson was about Earth. The students, a curious bunch, included Theru, a small but clever alien with bright yellow skin, Minka, a tall and gentle being with long green tentacles, and Rodax, a strong and brave boy with a smooth red exterior. They sat in a circle, their eyes wide with anticipation. Today, Xyler began, we will discuss why Earth is referred to as a death world. Does anyone know what that means? Rodax raised his hand, confident. It means a place where life struggles to survive. Many creatures there are dangerous. Exactly, Xyler said, nodding. Earth has many challenges that can harm its inhabitants. Let us explore this deeper. The students listened closely as Xyler explained. He spoke of Earth's roaring storms, its fierce predators, and the many diseases that could endanger life. He talked about the strong animals like lions and bears, and the tiny yet dangerous creatures, such as snakes and insects. The classroom grew quiet as the reality of Earth settled in. Why would anyone want to live in such a place? Theru asked, his eyes wide with concern. It sounds terrifying. Indeed, it is, Xyler replied with a smile. But Earth's creatures have something special. They have resilience and creativity. They adapt to their environment in ways we can learn from. The classroom buzzed with nervous energy as the students thought about Earth's dangers. Minka, always a thoughtful one, raised her tentacles tentatively. What about the humans? Are they really as dangerous as the other creatures? Xyler nodded gravely. Humans have faced many dangers. They have built cities, invented machines, and explored their planet. They have experienced wars, illnesses, and natural disasters. Yet, they keep pushing forward. It's a remarkable quality. Intrigued, Rodax leaned forward. But how do they live in such fear? Wouldn't they want to leave? Yes and no, Xyler replied. They understand fear, but also love. They support each other in times of trouble. Their hearts are strong. This bond of love makes them brave, even in dire situations. The students murmured among themselves. They began to see Earth in a different light. Xyler continued. Humans celebrate life despite knowing it can be short. They cherish moments of joy, family, and friendships. Suddenly, the classroom door slid open, and a classmate named Vexer entered. Vexer, known for his unusual curiosity, had overheard the conversation. You mean to say that even with all that danger, they continue? Why? Good question, Xyler said, welcoming Vexer to the circle. Life has meaning for them. They have hopes, dreams, and even art. They paint, create music, and tell stories that express their feelings. The room grew silent as the students absorbed this new information. They began to wonder about their own lives back on Xanthier, where everything was safe, but perhaps a little dull. What happens when humans face danger? Theru asked, leaning forward eagerly. Do they give up? No, they rise to the occasion, Xyler said, pride evident in his voice. Let me tell you a story about a brave woman named Maya. In her town, a huge storm was approaching. Many were afraid and sought shelter, but Maya decided to help her neighbors. She gathered food and blankets and went door to door, making sure everyone was safe. The alien students listened with wide eyes. Xyler continued. The storm arrived, fierce and wild. Many homes were damaged, but because Maya helped, people could work together. They rebuilt, showing strength and unity. Did they succeed? Minka asked eagerly, her tentacles quivering with excitement. Yes, they did, Xyler replied. The town became stronger as they learned to face storms together. They even celebrated a day of joy each year to honor their unity. Vexer shook his head in disbelief. How can they be so brave? If I were in danger, I would run away. But running away is not always the answer. Xyler advised gently. Courage comes from facing fears together. That unity gives strength. The students felt inspired. They began to see that there was beauty in the struggle of life on Earth. Rodak stood up, pumping his little fist in the air. We should learn from them. Their courage and unity can teach us. Yes, Theru added. It would be good for us to understand fear and how to face it. Minka smiled, her tentacles waving excitedly. Maybe we can take their stories back home, share it with others. Xyler watched the enthusiasm of his students, proud to see them grow. Exactly. Remember, every world has challenges. It's how they respond to those challenges that defines them. Earth is not just a death world. It is a life world, too. But what about the dangers? Vexer questioned. Shouldn't they try to avoid them? Xyler nodded thoughtfully. Avoiding danger is natural, but life is about balance. Overcoming difficulties helps one to grow. Many great achievements come from facing fears. That is what makes Earth special. As the bell rang, signaling the end of the lesson, the students felt a spark of inspiration. They had come to see Earth not just as a dangerous place, but as a land of hope and strength. With shared laughter and new dreams, they left the classroom feeling motivated. Little did they know that soon they'd embark on an adventure to Earth, ready to experience firsthand the lessons they had learned. The idea of meeting humans and witnessing their courage excited them all. Their journey would become more than just a school trip. It would lead them to understand what it truly meant to be alive, to face challenges, and to find unity in a world filled with uncertainties. The adventure of learning was just beginning, and with it, a tale woven across the stars awaited them.